Alright, so welcome back to another episode, and today we are going to be going over what's in my moving bait box. You guys got to check this out. If you haven't tried these baits, I recommend you do. Alright, so starting off, if you look at the chatterbaits, you're going to notice that I've got my chatterbait system down to where I only carry usually about 4 colors. That's going to be green pumpkin, some kind of black and blue, a bluegill, and a chartreuse and white. So there you do have your green pumpkin. Like I said, that is a Strike King Thunder Cricket, and all of these are in the 1/2 ounce size. There is your bruiser. When I don't have black and blue, I will replace it with bruiser. And if you're wondering what line I like for the chatterbait, I usually like a 16-pound fluorocarbon or 20. I'll also go lighter, but that depends on what I'm doing. There's your bluegill with the PB&J Rage Craw. And then, like I said, some of the chatterbaits that I replaced today when I went to Bass Pro was the green pumpkin and the chartreuse and white one. Look how good that looks, man. That chartreuse and white is amazing for bass and pike. Well, all of these are, but I like to go with my color selection depending on what's going on. Like if I need a color and I can't decide, I'm going to go with green pumpkin. Okay, if it's cloudy and it's kind of clear water, kind of not, black and blue. If I find that the bass are chasing after bluegill or even late summer, early fall, I will throw the bluegill. If it's stained water, muddy water, or I think they're going to feed on bait fish, that's when I'll go to like a chartreuse and white. There's the Thunder Cricket. I also do have the Elite in the box. I do like the profile of the Elite. But yeah, with the chatterbaits, I mean, like I said, for the trailer, it's either going to be a Rage Craw or a Kraken Craw for most of them. And I do like a 7'4" medium heavy power moderate action rod or a medium moderate. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the other side, which is hard baits. And now that we're into that, you'll notice that all of the baits in the box, whether it's a chatterbait or a hard bait, all of these do work for largemouth bass and smallmouth bass. So we're going to go up to the Redeye shads. My all-time favorite color for a Strike King Redeye shad is the Delta Red. Anything like Delta Red, Rayburn Red that I have right there, Chili Craw, Natural Shad, Gold, Bluegill. Those are all the colors that I like. But of course, in the spring and even sometimes summer, I do like the Craw Pattern Redeye Shad. Now you'll notice this is a regular Redeye Shad, and I do believe I also have the Tungsten 2-tap, which I do. Regular, 2-tap. Now there are going to be times when one is more effective than the other. I mean, personally, I like to carry both on me. There are times when I do just have the regular Redeye Shad and not the 2-tap, but especially after this year with how I noticed one day this will work, the next day this will work, one day this will catch a lot of fish, one day this will only catch the big fish or whatever is going on. Now I do like to carry both on me. And I mean, one thing I've noticed is I've had some people comment on videos in the past saying, hey, I can't get the bait to run right or it's running to the side. Well, you can tune your crankbaits and your lipless crankbaits, okay? You see where that piece is, where your line tie is, and you got the piece underneath it? You bend that, all right? If it's running to the left, bend that piece to the right. If it's running to the right, bend it to the left. You want to have that piece where the line tie is connected to perfectly straight down the middle on that bait. I mean, once in a while, you are going to get a Redeye shad that does not run straight out of the package. But I mean, this is one of the greatest baits ever created. It catches largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, spotted bass, pike. It catches fish all over the country. And if you haven't tried these, definitely give them a try. And I've actually had a lot of people that say, hey, I don't have confidence in this bait. Well, I'm telling you, keep throwing it. In the spring, something like a chatterbait or a lipless crankbait or Redeye shad, it's going to catch you a lot of fish and a lot of big fish. Now, speaking of that, a lot of the moving baits that I do throw in the spring, okay? Like in the summer, a chatterbait, a swim bait, finesse fishing, a Texas rig, a jig, topwater. That's kind of what I'm going to be going for. But I did just want to make a video going over the moving baits because I have had people ask for that in the comments. So the next part of this video, we're going to go ahead and move to the jerkbaits, crankbaits, and squarebills. Hope you guys are enjoying. Take a look right here. You do have the Megabass M Shad. This bait has been absolutely destroyed by smallmouth bass, pike, walleye, and even largemouth bass. Two of my favorite Megabass colors, obviously, is going to be the M Shad. See right there. And the other one is going to be the Table Rock SP. Go ahead and set that right there. The Table Rock SP, this bait right here, This has been not only one of my most producing, like the M Shad, but this color, you got the purple and the chartreuse with a little bit of orange on the bottom. This bait right here is just a flat out killer. Now, over the past few years, I've had people contact me and say, hey man, I can't justify spending $25 or $30 on a jerkbait. I understand that. But I've actually given these baits to people and said, hey, try it out. Let me know what you think. Because there's times when you'll throw other jerkbaits and they want this one. Now, I've talked about it in the past with the patented tungsten balancing system, and the hunting that the bait does, which is part of why I like a spinning rod. I use casting and spinning, but I do prefer spinning with 8-pound fluorocarbon. Caught a lot of smallmouth on Lake Michigan, Lake St. Clair with it. But that hunting action, like when you jerk it, it's going to hunt. And it's going to do an erratic, crazy action. There's actually companies that'll copy this bait. And the other baits work fine. They catch fish. But the Megabass is truly something special. So if you guys want to like check this bait out, definitely think you'd like it. And another one before I forget is also the GP Pro Perch. If I'm going to throw a perch color for a jerkbait, this Megabass is what I'm going to be going after. So again, if you haven't tried the bait, try it, because you'll be surprised how effective these jerkbaits are, especially for smallmouth bass. Like I said, they catch all species, but something like a jerkbait, a chatterbait, a tube, a Ned rig, which aren't pictured in this video, are baits that not only catch a lot of fish, but a lot of species of fish. But anyway, that's for a different video. So we're going to go ahead and move on to my all-time favorite deep diving crankbait, and that's going to be a Strike King 5XD. And you're going to notice that this bait is pretty torn up. This has actually caught me a lot of fish on the Great Lakes as well. My favorite color, which is the only color that I have in the box right now, is the sexy blueback herring. Now this bait out of the package is going to go to 15 feet, but what I like about these crankbaits so much is I like to adjust what line I'm using to what depth I want the bait to go to. Now if you heard that and you're confused, so if I throw like 15-pound fluorocarbon, it'll probably go in the area of 13 to 15 feet. Now if I put 10-pound fluorocarbon on there, 10-pound test or even 8-pound test, you can get that bait to go deeper. Now if I'm fishing in like a river or a lake and I want the bait to hit the bottom and dig up the sand, which will trigger a reaction strike or a bite from a fish nearby, I will throw this 5XD in a more shallow situation. So if it's 10 feet of water, 8 feet of water, 12 feet of water, and I throw this, I want that to dig into the bottom. I'm doing that on purpose. But again, the 5XD, the Strike King 3XD, the KVD 1.5 squarebill, Strike King baits are flat out amazing. I have fished with a 10XD before, but again, the 5XD is my go-to. It is amazing. And you'll notice, if you look, that some of the sexy blueback herring colors you get, one looks darker than the other. I will even go as far to go with the lighter whitish one or the olive green one. See what I mean? Anyway, go ahead and put this away, and we're going to go to the square bills that I have in the box, and then we're going to wrap up the video. Go ahead and move on to the last section of the box. You do have the Megabass S-Crank 1.5. Right here you have the bluegill color. Look how aggressive that bait looks. You got the bluegill. There's the Megabass Sexy Shad right next to it. I usually carry a KVD 1.5 or some kind of cheaper square bill, but I actually had these in the box and I put them in here because I think I'm going to be using them soon. And I actually wanted to tell a story about this bait right here. I can't exactly remember the color name. I do believe it's GP Sexy Shad, I think. I can't remember. But anyway, I was throwing this square bill that has the tangled treble hooks. There we go. This one right here at Lake St. Clair 3 years ago, and I hooked what was at least a 40-inch muskie. It bit the bait, it ran, it jumped, and spit the bait. It was giant. But this bait right here that I talked about in the community tab survived an attack from a muskie at Lake St. Clair. Still has the same hooks, everything. I haven't changed anything out. But again, like I said, these baits I'm going to be fishing more often. They will go, I think, 3 to 6 feet. And again, on that that Mega Bass jerkbait, that will go, I do believe, 6 to 10 feet. So if I forgot to include that, I do apologize. But I did just want to go over my moving bait box and what I carry. Like I did say, I like to keep the color selection basic. I don't really do anything crazy. Green pumpkin, black and blue, bluegill, chartreuse and white, shad, perch, sexy shad, craw colors, you name it. So you guys got to do me a favor and leave me a comment in the section below. What is your favorite moving bait? What is your favorite chatterbait, your favorite crankbait, you name it. Leave me a comment. I know we always open the discussion on these baits, and we always have good conversations about what you like, what you don't like. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the section below. If you have any other questions or comments, let me know. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.